Hey guys, and welcome to Let's Build the Sims house series. I don't even know what this is called. It's a new series. Anyways, so this house that I'm making is very different in a town that I actually just got, and yeah. So the town is, if you don't know, it's Lucky Palms. I used to have this, and I don't know what ever happened to it. But I couldn't find it in my downloads, so I rebought it. Anyways, so this house here, we're just building walls right now and just laying down the foundation for this house. Now, this house is a very luxurious house, but I did leave it kind of semi-furnished, if that makes any sense, so that you guys could add your own touches to the house. I thought if you guys liked this idea, then I could continue to do this. If you guys hate it completely, I do apologize. And just let me know in the comments below. And in the next one, maybe I will do the, what do you even call that? I'll do a fully furnished house. So right now we're going to add in some fencing. And I thought this fencing added a really nice touch to it. I was trying to put a fence in here, but it just wouldn't let me, so I had to leave that out and just kind of go with it. I was kind of going off the theme that I had in my head for this house, and you kind of saw what the theme was at the very beginning when you saw, like, you know, what the house looks like at the very end, which I always think is really cool. Like, you see the end product, and then, like, you see someone build it, and then you see, like, the end product again. It's so cool to see, like, the process. Anyways, I'm a freak, I know. Right here I'm trying to lay down some more walls, and I do mess it up a little bit and make things a little too scrunchy, and then I have to go back and replace all of this wall, so yay! But no. Yeah, here I am, like, making it the right lengths and, you know, everything. This is a new thing that I'm trying here with the narration of the video, and I'm just watching it right now. It's weird. I don't know. I've never done it before. I've always tried to put music in, and I don't know. It never seems to work out very well for me. So yeah. This house is like a backwards house, if that makes any sense. The upstairs is where the living quarters are, and then the downstairs is like the bedroom areas. So I thought it was a very unique house, and I thought it would be something fun that, you know, we could have some fun with. And I kind of liked the difference because it just made it feel so much, you know, more of my kind of thing. Like, I'm a very unique person, I feel, and so I like things to be different. Anyways, just finishing off putting on the flat roof that will eventually change, but it is a 2-car garage. I put the doors in the center of the wall, and then we're gonna lay down the foundation the painting for the driveway and the walkway up to the house, which are connected because, in a sense, they're connected, I guess. There is a little space with some plants in between it, but mostly it's connected, and then we're just going to start adding in doors and stairs. This is where I was having a hard time getting the stairs in because the wall was all screwed up upstairs, so I had to try and it kept telling me the terrain wasn't level, but it was, and then I had to actually move the wall upstairs because it was in the way, and that was what was making it not work. Made a little bit more sense. So I just shuffled things around a little bit and threw in some glass stairs there. Then we are working on, what are we working on? Oh, we're still putting up walls, and we're doing windows now. I was trying to kind of stick with the same theme, and since it's Lucky Palms and it's kind of in a desert, you're going to get a lot of, like, sunshine, you know, or anyways, in my eyes. Anyways, so I was trying to let in a lot of the natural light into the rooms. That's kind of what I was going for. This will eventually become the master bedroom. That's why it's got, like, the double windows and much more windows. You're going to spend some extra time there, right? Who knows? So there is quite a few, like, little porch areas, secluded areas or whatever. I had a foundation there. I had to delete it because it couldn't work with the door. The master bedroom, this will be eventually the bathroom, which I think is really cool. It's got a nice little touch to it, so you guys will see in just a second. This is going to be where the living room is, so it's got extra windows, and it's really lit up really well. I thought it was very different with the dining room and stuff upstairs. And it does have like a wraparound balcony at the top, so it's really pretty. then we're just putting down some flooring. I was trying to find a really nice like stone, but I couldn't get it to work. It just didn't look, it wasn't going for what I was thinking of in my mind. So I eventually had to go with, I think I had to go with wood. Anyways, now we're going to put in some columns just to make it look a little bit more modern, and this one sticks through the wall and it really bugs me, but I couldn't get it to work. I love those two right there next to the stairs. It just gives it a little bit of an accent. There's the door to the back balcony overlooking the town, and then this is the kitchen area, and then this is the wood that I had to go with for the house because it just looks so much better and it matched so much better. Now we're getting into wallpapering, and I had a hard time finding something that I liked, but I finally did, and I waited forever. I changed the colors and stuff and made it like my own pattern, and I think it came out really well. We're just changing up the woods and stuff to match the actual wood of the floor, and now we're just putting a little bit of a pattern or some, a little bit of spunk into it. We needed some wall spunk, some spunk on the wall, and I actually came up with it. It was pretty good. I like what I came up with, and I think it matches really well. It's the food one that I did, I believe, in the Millman household, so I think it's the same thing that I put on this wall. I don't remember. No, it was watermelon. That's what it was. And it's really cute, and it's like very springtime or like summery, and it just makes me feel like, so fresh and so like excited. And then I tried to take the colors off of the flooring here and put them on the wall so that everything kind of matched, even knowing, the wallpapering looks weird here. I do add in walls in between to make it look a little bit better, kind of like that, and it just separates the room a little bit and gives it a little bit of its own feel. There's a little closet there. I do add some shelves in there at a later time, and there's another little area over there. There is a bathroom, and that room there is the office, which I just put a doorway onto, and then we are doing the wraparound. I had a hard time deciding on how the wraparound should go, just for the fact that I didn't know how to do that one part that goes over the garage because it's connected, but I think what I came up with is a really good solution, and we're just adding some terrain paints outside so that it looks like, proper little balconies, I guess. Now we're trying to decide on wall sidings, and I couldn't decide what I wanted to go with, but I think what I did come up with, because I was trying to kind of match it with the driveway, I think what I came up with is really pretty, and it really accented the white of the walls on the outside. And I didn't put it everywhere because I did want that different kind of colored theme kind of thing, and so I went with the white. I was going to go with yellow, and then I decided white would look so much cleaner and so much more refreshing, and so that's what I went with. And then I have the black tiles for like the roofing and the balconies, which I really think is pretty. And this is the first time I've actually been happy with how a house like this has come out, because a lot of times when I build houses with these two different siding colors, I always get like freaked out and I have to put it back all of the same kind because it just doesn't look proper. But I think it came out well, and I'm just covering over the balconies now with some flooring. I did put the rock wall inside of the garage, but the other walls are all white, so the other 3 walls in the garage are white, just to give that little accent as well, and to match the outside. Now we're going to work on the kitchen counters. Had a hard time deciding what kind of counter would look the best in a modern home that isn't very modern on the inside, but it is on the outside. So I came up with this and matched it to the colors of the wall, which I think out came out really nice. I went with the blue counter and like a little bit of a yellow countertop, I think it is. So I think that was pretty good, and I think it came out really nice. Or did I go with black? I went black countertop. And then I got the one weird corner angle here, and it was very tough getting it in there because the first time I looked at it, it was through the wall. So I had to fix it. And yeah, this is how long it took, but it didn't look very long. I put in a modern fridge and stove from Late Night, and then just a nice kitchen sink. And then we have a little island. I didn't put any chairs up to it because I hate when they use those all the time and don't use a dining table. So I figured you could just have your Sims cook on it, or, you know, whatever. And it would be really nice. So here I am adding in shelving into the little closets, and I think that's really nice. And then we're moving into the living room. I added a nice fireplace, and since this is the living quarters, I put it only upstairs. I didn't put another one downstairs. And I was trying to put a mirror over top of the fireplace. It just didn't look proper, so I did a picture instead. I think the picture looks very nice above the fireplace and very clean. And then I was trying to decide on like something to put on the fireplace because I never do that. And I couldn't actually come up with the right thing. So I just put 2 little picture frames that you could add like your Sims children's pictures into. And it would be really sweet and, you know, lovable. Anyways, I added the fireplace tools just for a little touch. Like I said, I didn't put too much into, you know, the house, just a few details here and there, or things that I thought, you know, were kind of essential, like a fire alarm and some lights, obviously. I did put in the dining table and chairs just because I wanted you to know that that's where it should go, and that's kind of what it would look like if I were to put it there. If you guys want a fully furnished, like decorated and all kind of thing, I can do that. Just let me know as well. But it would have to be a lot of you that really want it, because if only one of you wants it, I'm not going to spend, you know, hours decorating a house. But maybe. Anyways, so I'm putting up a curtain. I always forget to do curtains in my houses, so this is a really nice touch. I think it's the only curtain in the house, to be honest with you. I think I forgot the rest of the house. But I think that for what we've got, I think it's fine. We're not that close to the road or anything, so it's not like people are going to be walking by and seeing us, so it's not that big of a deal. And the bedrooms are to the back of the house anyways, so it would be like your backyard. I did add a couple of small appliances, like a microwave and a chopper, whatever you call it. I added some bookshelves here, and I added a nice chair on each side and 2 in front, just so you could sit and read and, you know, have a good old time. I added some lamps to give it some light, so when you're sitting there reading, you have light. And then I did a smaller table lamp on top of this little end table here. I thought it was really cute, and I thought it would be like a really nice place that like your bookworm Sims could sit down and read, or, you know, whatever. And it would be, they would be right next to this fire, so they get that little cozy fire mood lit. Be fine. Then I put the actual living room over here, and I just put one little sofa and a coffee table, really. Nothing too spectacular. It wasn't meant to be a huge living area. And I loved the grand piano in the corner, just for the fact that you could be standing in the kitchen cooking and listening to someone on the piano. Now I love this little effect here that I did with the lights, the 3 angles. Loved it. Now we're going to move into the office here, which I think came out really nicely. I went through, and this was one of the wall patterns that came with university, and I just took it and used it and added in like a desk and a sitting area and some bookshelves and, you know, all the really good stuff. I added in a nice computer just in case your children wanted to use it, and I added in a couple more chairs with the same table and another lamp so that they have light, a nice area rug, and then I added in some more bookshelves. But I forgot, these weren't black when I put them down, and I wanted to make them black, so I just did a wall of bookshelves. I think it's really nice. I added some lights. It's nice and lit up. And then this is where the full bath for the whole family, on like the actual living quarter floor, whatever, this is where it would be. You've got like your toilet and sinks, and I think I added in a shower in the corner just because it wasn't meant to be a full bath, but it was so big that it definitely could be. Out here I added in just a telescope. If you wanted to add in some chairs or something, you could do that at your own will. I put in some doors downstairs for all the different rooms here because I was taking them from upstairs, and I wanted to just make sure I got everything in there. And then put some carpeting and flooring in for the bathrooms, and covering the walls with all of the beautiful decorations of wallpaper and all that. This is the master bedroom here, and I wanted it to look very open and very clean, so I made it a very big room and just put in just a couple of things, especially obviously a really nice bed. You need that for your Sims. And then from there, I went ahead and this is the bathroom for the master bath. And I thought the little toilet on its own was kind of really cute. I did add in a bathtub. I tried to use that one, it didn't work, so I had to do a different one. But I did add 2 showers in just in case, they were in a rush and they both needed to get a shower. They both could do that. I added in a nice little heart rug in the middle just because it's a love room. Then I added in 2 little dressers in that room, and now I'm just adding in like a little living area for the parents to get away from the children at one point. I added in an area rug and moved the couch a little bit, decorated the rug to match the room, and then that was pretty much it for that. I added on a double door for the master doors, and then in here, this is the washroom where you would do like your laundry and all that, and I added the washer and dryer, counters, and just a little area rug as well. Nothing too spectacular. I put the closet here, and that was for like the children, and then I pulled a couch and put it in there just for a little comfy area to sit down if they wanted to read. They do have the double beds just in case boy or girl could really stay in this room. It's not really sex oriented. And then I added a butterfly rug, which I thought was so cute. You could definitely change this up and make it more boy friendly if you felt like you needed to, but I would be okay with my boys staying in there. Then I have this bath, and in this one room is the showers, and the other room is the toilets. And then this is a nursery where I did triplet beds, because in my towns, my Sims seem to have multiples all the time. So I tried to make one like girls, one a boys, and one like a gender neutral. So you could use whichever one you wanted. And if you wanted to delete the other 2, you could go ahead and do that. I did add in the changing table, so you would have to have that in the playpen. I also added in 2 walkers, the toys to learn, a bear for each. And then I added in a nice little area rug, I do believe, unless I decided that it just didn't look good. Yeah, I decided it didn't look good. Then here is another bathroom that everyone could use, but mostly it would become for the nursery if you wanted it to. It's got the baby potty in it, so you could train them in there. Outside, there's a barbecue area with a fireplace. I did add in a nice sitting area, so you could eat outside. Your Sims could eat outside. There's a nice swing set for the children. And I added in a nice hot tub. Just because I felt parents would want to be able to relax. I added tons of lights outside so that we all could see very well outside, so it was really well lit up, and so that it would look really nice at nighttime. I think I did really well with not putting too many, but putting enough where it lit it up really well. And yeah, so here we go. And then I added some to the garage just because it was dark. And then I started to do plants outside, which I did the desert tea plants, I guess I would call them. And then I put flowers in between because I felt it looked like too much. I added some palm trees and some like spruce trees or something like that. A nice rock for a little decoration. And then I put lights around the rock to accent it so that, it would light it up a little bit. Here we go. And fixed them a little bit because they were a little off-centered. And added flowers, like I said, in between them because they just look too spacey and not like enough color, enough stuff for it. So I added some really nice flowers, and I did different colors, so I like it. And then I fixed the driveway a little bit so it looks a little bit more even, and I think it looked good. Then I moved the mailbox and the trash can, and tried to move that. It didn't work. And then I put a wall there just to cut that room off, kind of. And yeah, there we go. So there's the house, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Oh yeah, I added lights to the driveway. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching.